My dear friends, I am taking sixth question of second paper 5002 LLB. What is the question? The power of court to release offender on probation of good conduct under the Probation Act. My dear friends, this is a very important question. So, in this question, according to section S4, when any person is found guilty, what this section says, when any person is found guilty of having committed an offense not punishable with death, this is the condition, not punishable with death or imprisonment for life. Here this section is applicable. What court does? The court by which the person is found guilty is of the opinion that, having regard to the circumstances of the case, including the nature of the offense and the character of the offender. My dear friends, here courts see three things. Having regard to the circumstances of the case, first. Second, including the nature of the offense. Third, the character of the offender. If three things are found, then it is expedient to release him on the probation of good conduct, in spite of anything contained in any other law for the time being in force. The court may, instead of sentencing him at once to any punishment, direct that he be released. When these things, when these conditions are found by the court, then court take the decision, instead of sentencing him at once, and the court direct that he be released. So this is, my dear friends, according to the section S4, court take this decision against any offender. So I am taking the condition on which the offender is released. My dear friends, conditions against the offender. He be released on his entering into a bond with or without sureties to appear and receive sentence when called upon during such period, not exceeding 3 years. This is the condition. As the court may direct, and in the meantime to keep the peace and be of good behavior, provided that the court shall not direct such release of an offender unless it is satisfied that the offender or his surety, if any, has a fixed place of residence or regular occupation in the place over which the court exercises jurisdiction, or in which the offender is likely to live during the period for which he enters into the bond. My dear friends, these are the conditions against the offender. These conditions are made by the court against the offender. If he fulfills these conditions, then he may be released on probation of good conduct. Now I am taking more conditions. Second, my dear friends, in second condition, before under subsection 1, the court shall take into consideration the report if an officer concerned in relation to the case. Third condition, section 1 is made, the court may, if it is of the opinion that of the offender and of the public, it is expedient to do so, in a supervision order directing that the offender shall remain under the supervision of the named in the order during such period not being less than 1 year as therein, and may in such supervision order as it deems necessary for the due supervision of the order. In this second and third condition, the offender being remained or will remain of the probation officer. This is the condition. Direction of the probation officer, and from time to time probation has to submit the report to the court about the behavior and things under this act to the court. So these are the two conditions, 2, 3, and I have first condition I have mentioned. Condition, my dear friends, fourth condition, the court making a supervision order under subsection 3. Under subsection 3, this is the subsection, shall require the offender before he is released to enter into a bond with or without sureties to observe the condition specified in such order and such additional condition with respect to residence, abstention from the intoxicants, or any other matter as the court may, having regard to the particular circumstances, consider fit to impose for preventing a repetition of the same offense of a commission of the offenses by the offender. My dear friends, under this section shall require the offender before he is released to enter into bond. First condition, with or without sureties. This is the condition of the bond. To observe the conditions specified in such order and such additional condition with respect to the residence. This is another condition. Abstention from intoxicants. This is also a condition. Abstention from intoxicant or any other matter as the court may, having regard to the particular circumstances, consider fit to impose for preventing repetition of the same offense. This is the condition for repeating of the same offense. This is the most important condition. This is the ban imposed by the court on the offender not to repeat such offense again, for preventing repetition of the same offense or a commission of other offense. If not same, the commission of other offenses by the offender, it must also be avoided. The the court making a supervision under this section, this is the section. The court making a supervision under subsection 3 shall explain the offender terms and condition of the order. This is the duty of the court to explain the terms and condition of the offender of the order, terms and condition of the order, and shall forthwith furnish one copy of the supervision order to each of the offenders. The sureties, if any sureties, it must also be mentioned in the order, and the probation officer concerned. The name of the probation officer should also be in the order. It is the most important point last. It is to be noted that educated men, my dear friends, this is very important. Educated men and experienced men should not be given to the benefit of the act if it is done. The object of the act would be defeated. This is the main condition of this act. Educated men and experienced men should not be given the benefit of this act. And if it does so, the object of act would be defeated. So, my dear friends, all the conditions which are mentioned in these sections, in these points, I have explained with full detail. And I am going to take a last section, last paragraph of this question. My dear friend, the last paragraph, or you can say that this is the gist of the question. Power of court to release certain offenders after admonition. This paragraph contains the whole procedure of the court as well as the offender. According to section 3, when any person is found guilty of having committed an offense punishable under these sections, section 379, section 380, or 404 and 420 of the IPC, or any offense punishable with imprisonment for not more than 2 years, here you say, with fine or both, under IPC, or any other law for the time being in force, and no previous conviction, my dear friends, here you see, this is also a condition. No previous conviction is proved against him, and the court by which the person is found guilty, if the above conditions have been seen by the court, and then the court decide, the court by which the person is found guilty is of the opinion, first, having regard to the circumstances of the case, 2nd, including the nature of the offense, 3rd, the character of the offender. These three conditions, if found, then it is expedient to do so in spite of anything contained in any other law for the time being in force. The court may, instead of sentencing, here you say, the court may, instead of sentencing him to any punishment or releasing him on probation of good conduct. Here, the court avoid this sentence but release the offender on the probation of good conduct under this section 4. Release him after due admonition. My dear friends, this paragraph contains all the main things of the question, main contents of the questions. These are the in these are the conditions of the sections, and 1 2 3, these are the condition which the judge have to judge, and then after taking decision, the judge may release the offender on probation of good conduct after due admonition. So my dear friend, the question which I have taken today is a very important question. My dear friends, I think the concept of this question is clear to all because I have tried as much as I think. So, in the last, my dear friend, one thing more. I want to make a request to you. Please subscribe the channel and also like. The name of my channel is Maths by Dharanveer Singh Dabas. Again, thanks.